Hello, my name is Jason Rice, attorney and founder of Maine Divorce, a full-service family law firm located in southern Maine. A question that I'm commonly asked is, will I have to sell my house or do I get to keep my house in a divorce? The answer to that is somewhat tricky. And the reason I'm saying that is because the current real estate market has thrown a wrench in divorce cases, not only in Maine, but throughout the country. One of the first things that to consider is the house marital property. So Maine statutes define marital property as property accumulated from the date of marriage going forward. So if the house was purchased after the date of marriage, it's safe to assume that it's marital property, and the court is going to have to figure out how to distribute it or who to award the house to. Now, if somebody wants to keep the house and the other party doesn't, then the person who wants to keep the house is going to have to buy the other person out of their equity. So let's say there's $100,000 of equity in the home. Safe to assume that parties are going to have to split it 50-50. So that means that if there's $100,000 in equity in the home, whoever wants to keep the home has to pay the other party their share of the equity, which would be $50,000. Often that was done by refinancing. And so when I kind of started off by saying it's kind of tricky with current conditions is real estate values are very high, probably at an all-time high. Also, interest rates are very high. So that makes it very, very difficult often for parties who are going through a divorce to be able to refinance and then buy the other person out. If you don't want to keep the property, but the other party does, they're going to have to buy you out of your share of the equity. If the parties agree, they can agree to split the proceeds, to put the house for sale and then split the proceeds. Or if they can't agree, then you go to a final hearing, the parties make their case, and then the court is going to make a determination or ruling on what it's going to do with the property. Either require the property to be sold and the parties split the proceeds, or if somebody makes a case at a hearing that they want to keep the property, they're going to probably allow that person some short period of time to try to refinance and buy the other person out. And if they can't, put the property up for sale and split the proceeds. So there's a couple options that they have to do that. For it, depending on what happens with the house, a couple options that are out there for people who are going through divorce on kind of what to expect in any given divorce that involves real estate. Now, the parties, if there's other property to be considered, and that means, what I'm talking about is like bank accounts or retirement accounts, large sums of money. There could be some negotiations as to maybe somebody gets a bigger cut of something else versus the equity in the home. There's some negotiation that can take place. But definitely, if the house is considered marital property, the court's going to have to do something with it, and it's up to the parties really as to what they want to do with it. And so if you have questions about your family law case, you can contact our office, Diego Divorce, by calling 207-200-3231, or you can go visit the website www.diego-divorce.com, and you can actually book an appointment right there in the top right of the website.